Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the JISH Learn English Podcast. I am Shaylin. Today, we are going to learn a very natural English phrase, I feel like. This is one of those expressions that helps your English sound softer, more natural, and closer to real everyday speech. In this lesson, we will slowly understand what it means and how to use it in simple situations to talk about what you want, what you are in the mood for, what you don't want to do, how to talk about the past, and how to ask questions. So let's start and understand it. First, let's understand the meaning of I feel like. In simple English, I feel like means what you want or what you are in the mood for. It is not strong or direct like I want. It sounds softer and more natural in everyday conversations. Now let's understand the structure clearly. There are two main ways we use it. First is I feel like plus noun. Second is I feel like plus verb, ing form. When we use I feel like plus noun, we are simply talking about a thing we want. A noun can be food, object, or anything you can name. For example, if you are hungry, instead of saying I want pizza, you can say I feel like pizza. It sounds more relaxed and natural. Or if you are thirsty, you can say, I feel like juice, or I feel like coffee. In these sentences, you are not talking about an action, only what you want in that moment. So this structure simply shows your preference in a soft way. Now, when we move to I feel like plus verb ing, the meaning shifts slightly. Here, we are talking about actions, things we want to do. For example, I feel like eating pizza, or I feel like watching a movie. Now you are not just naming something, you are describing an activity connected to your mood. So this structure is used when you are thinking about doing something. The difference is actually simple. If you say, I feel like pizza, you are talking about the food itself. But if you say, I feel like eating pizza, you are talking about the action. In real conversations, both are used, but the verb form is more common because people often talk about what they want to do, not just what they want. In daily life, this becomes very natural. Imagine someone asks you, do you want to go out today? If you are tired, you might say, I feel like staying home today. Or if you are relaxed and want entertainment, you might say, I feel like watching a movie. You are not thinking about grammar here, you are just expressing your mood. That is exactly how native-like English works. We also use this phrase when we don't want to do something. The structure is I don't feel like plus verb ing. For example, I don't feel like going out today, or I don't feel like talking right now. This is a very natural and soft way to say you are not in the mood. It does not sound rude or negative, just honest and calm. In everyday English, the verb form is more commonly used, like I don't feel like drinking coffee, instead of just coffee. Another interesting use is when we give opinions. Instead of saying I think, we sometimes use I feel like to make the opinion sound softer and less direct. For example, instead of saying I think this is a bad idea, you can say I feel like this is not a good idea. Or, I feel like this place is too crowded. This makes your English sound more gentle, like you are sharing a feeling rather than making a strong judgment. When we talk about the past, we change feel to felt. So we say, I felt like. This is used when we describe past emotions or desires. For example, I felt like sleeping all day yesterday, or I felt like crying after the movie. We can also use it for past opinions, like, I felt like nobody understood me. This helps you express past experiences in a very natural and simple way. For questions, we use do you feel like plus verb ing. For example, do you feel like going out tonight? Or do you feel like watching a movie? This is a very polite and natural way to ask someone about their mood or plan. We can also ask open questions like, what do you feel like doing today? This keeps the conversation open and friendly. So if we bring everything together, I feel like is a very flexible and useful phrase in English. It helps you talk about your wants, your mood, your opinions, your past feelings, and even helps you ask questions naturally. Instead of sounding direct with I want or I think, this phrase helps you sound more natural and emotionally soft. Let's quickly revise what we learned. I feel like pizza shows a noun, what you want. I feel like eating pizza shows an action, what you want to do. I don't feel like going out shows you are not in the mood. I feel like this is not a good idea shows a soft opinion. I felt like sleeping all day talks about the past, and do you feel like going out is a question. Now it's your turn to use it. What do you feel like doing this weekend? Try to answer using I feel like in the comments. This simple practice will help you start thinking in English more naturally. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who is learning English. Thank you for learning with me today. I am Shaylin, and this is the JISH Learn English Podcast. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.